Alright guys, so I grew up in the Washington DC area, so I've always known the history about why the East Wing of the White House was built, which got me to wondering why tear it down, and specifically why now. So if you want to hear my working theory / this is genuinely turning into a Jason Bourne movie right before our very eyes, go get some coffee and come on back. So let me not bury the lead on this one, guys. This is not a normal White House facelift. This particular demolition is completely blacked out. So back in 1942, during the thick of World War II, right? FDR didn't just want more space for his staff. He built the East Wing as cover. And for nearly 100 years, what has sat below the East Wing of the White House is the PEOC, which is the Presidential Emergency Operations Command Center. A secret bomb-proof bunker tucked just under the White House, which is connected by underground tunnels, yes, this is true, with the Treasury Department, the West Wing, and several other areas. Upstairs, Eleanor Roosevelt's office and the perfect camouflage. Down below, reinforced concrete, filtered air, and direct lines to the Pentagon, in case DC ever came under attack. Fast forward 8 decades, and now you have this. So this is satellite imagery of where the East Wing used to sit. As you can see, it was not only touched, it has been completely demolished. Now you have to remember that for security reasons, the airspace around the White House, called P-56A, is one of the most restricted airspaces in the world. It's inside the larger DC Special Flight Rules area, a total no-fly zone. No drones, no civilian choppers, nothing below 18,000 feet, unless it's federal or military. And the president, he has total control over every aircraft cleared to fly in that area. Then comes the gag order. On 20 October, they sent a notice to the Treasury Department, which is the building, if you'll look right here, that is sitting directly to the right of the East Wing, if you're looking at where the East Wing used to be. It basically overlooks the East Wing of the White House. So the Trump team sent a memo over to the staff at the Treasury Department saying, do not share photos of the White House, East Wing demolition or construction activities at all. Not allowed to do it. No explanation, just silence. And if that's not enough to make the hair on the back of your neck stand up, worry about the fact that on 23 October, the Secret Service came in and closed down Ellipse Park, which you'll see right here is where basically you have journalists who kind of stage there and they take pictures of the comings and goings of what's going on at the White House. Not anymore they don't, because the Secret Service closed the park. Guys, what we have is no air access, no line of sight access, no press access, and you also have to remember that there are federal rules about how tall buildings can be in DC. So there's no rooftop in the city where you can kind of peek over and see what's going on in the White House. That's not going to happen there. So it is a total blackout except for satellite imagery, which, as you can see, told us that East Wing of the White House is now completely gone. So the White House originally announced these plans for this 90,000 square foot ballroom, which is twice the size of the actual White House, by the way, to seat 999 people back in July, but no construction equipment showed up until late October, coincidentally during a government shutdown, which is perfect timing because when the government is shut down, the watchdogs go dark. No National Capital Planning Commission, no historic preservation reviews, no Section 106 consultations, and bonus rounds since this project is being privately funded. Musk, Bezos, crypto billionaires, probably like the one that he just pardoned yesterday. Fun fact, it's shielded from FOIA requests, the Freedom of Information Act. Because it's being built on federal grounds, we would have had the right to make a FOIA request, but can't do it because it's private donors. So whatever they tell us where the money's coming from, we just have to take them at their word. Now I want you guys to peel off the outside layer of the onion and remind yourself that that means that an undisclosed group of people is paying to build infrastructure that is going to sit below the White House indefinitely. If you made it this far in the video, don't forget to like, repost, and follow for updates. Leave the secret words, "You're not building a ballroom," in the comment section. And if you guys enjoy my videos, please go follow me over on YTube. It's right here on the screen because the things that I'm talking about are, well, yeah, you guys understand. And how about those Starlink dishes, ones from Musk that were installed back in March? Until then, the White House relied on encrypted fiber optic legacy satellite uplinks, all routed through government networks. But of course, Starlink satellites changes that game. Now the communications at the White House can beam directly to low orbit satellites, bypassing traditional infrastructure. It means faster, harder to track, and less dependent federal telecom channels. And if those dishes are now tied into whatever's being built underground, that's an entirely new comms network, private, independent, and off-grid. What they're building is effectively a giant Faraday cage to protect, a Faraday cage protects you against all kinds of electronic attacks beneath the East Wing. Basically a signal-proof shell. And guys, that's not for parties. That's for continuity of government when everything else goes dark. Yes, presidents have absolutely been shuttled down to the PIOC during incidents in the past, like 9/11. Even Trump went down there during the riot that he incited on January 6th. And that PIOC, again, is connected to the wider underground tunnels below DC, with everything from the West Wing, the Treasury, and some people even say the Capitol's underground tram. So this entire thing is scheduled to wrap before the president is done with this term, and we can all see what they're doing with respect to rigging the election. So my question is, what's to stop them from just staying there? Because you'll now have a fortified East Wing as a sub-training command hub, wired to private satellites, shielded from surveillance, built on donor dollars, and exempt from oversight. And that's where the real power could live forever.